What do you do if you're delivering a presentation and you mess up? What do you do? I mean, it sucks. And if you deliver enough presentations, eventually something's going to mess up. You're going to mess up. Something's going to happen. So what do you do about it? I mean, you can go off, you can cry like a baby, or you can do something different. I remember, I mean, as much as I don't want to admit it, I messed up a few times in my presentation. There's this part of my presentation that I do with a number where I have someone at the beginning think of a number, and then at the end I do this amazing thing with these numbers. And one time I got the number wrong, so it messed up my entire ending, and I was like, oh my goodness. And it feels bad in the moment. I mean, in the moment you're like, oh my goodness, you just wanna leave and go crawl in a corner, and it feels really bad. And this happens all the time. I mean, just recently, like Adele, her Grammy performance, something messed up, I think, with like the piano. Jamie Foxx, when he was doing the national anthem or something, the earpiece that they have, that the musicians have where they can hear themselves, that didn't work out, so he couldn't hear himself as he was singing, so he was like off key or whatever. So eventually, if you do enough presentations, something's gonna happen. But you need to understand that everything is your fault. Why would I say that? Everything is your fault. For example, like with Adele, the piano didn't work. How could that be her fault? Well, you need to think in terms of everything is your fault because it empowers you to change it in the future. When you think in terms of everything is your fault, now you focus on how to get better, how to change what you do to get better. So when you mess up, first off, think it's your fault. I mean, it's nobody else. It's your fault. And what's really important is that you got to let it go. I mean, sure, it sucks. In the moment, you're like, damn. But you got to let it go because it already happened. There's no point in thinking about it anymore. The only reason you need to think about it is to get better. So when something happens, you say, okay, this happened because I didn't practice enough. I forgot my words. And so now you say, all right, next time I'm gonna make sure I practice 24/7 and I will never forget the words. So you want to let it go in terms of, oh my God, I messed up and my life is ruined. You don't want to think like that. You got to think, okay, I messed up, so how do I make it better? Everything is feedback. Everything that happens to you, good, bad, all of it is feedback for you to get better. You really want to think like, how would you respond if it happens again? So one of the things that I do all the time is when I think about a presentation, I think, well, what if this messed up? What if a fire alarm happened right in the middle of the presentation? What if this happened? And I think of mess ups in my head. What if the microphone goes out? What if the PowerPoint goes down? What if all the lights? I think about all this stuff beforehand, not to be a negative Nancy, but to think in terms of planning. So if it does happen, because I practiced it already inside my head, I know how to respond. So if things mess up, number one, it's your fault. I mean, it's your fault. But two, you got to think in terms of feedback, and you let it go. But you think in terms of feedback, and then you say next time, you're like, okay, you practice in your head, if this happens, what should I do? If this happens, what should I do? If this happens, what should I do? But don't worry about people mess up, and it just happens. Let it go. Don't cry like a baby. But yeah.